compiler converts that C++ code that we wrote into the binary language that is actually understandable by the computers. So there are a lot of fields inside the programming as well. It's up to you to decide which field you want to pursue in, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Coding Ninjas YouTube channel. Myself Vishesh. So in this video we are going to discuss about what is programming and why program, right? So what is programming, guys? So basically it's a way of giving commands to your computer. So in general, computer basically understands the binary language 0 and 1, right? But it's very difficult for us, for humans, to give commands to the computer in a binary language. So there comes the use of programming languages, guys. So programming is nothing but giving commands to your computer. But in which language you will give commands to your computer? Computer understands only binary 0 and 1. Will you use 0 and 1? It's very difficult to give commands to the computer in binary language for us humans, right? So there is the use of programming languages. There are different languages, guys. So if you can give commands to your computer in some English language, right? In some English language, then it will be easy for us humans, na? Because English is known by everyone, mostly everyone, right? Because it's our international language. So there must be some standards to give commands to the computer, and that standards must be easy for us humans. So there is the use of the programming languages. So what programming languages do? We write our commands that we want to give to the computer in basically programming languages, right? That can be C++, Java or Python, right? And compiler or interpreters convert our commands into the binary languages. That is actually understandable by the computer. Computer doesn't understand our C++ language. What happens? Compiler converts that C++ code that we wrote, right, into the binary language that is actually understandable by the computers. So programming is basically giving commands to the computer, and to program, so to make program useful, we need to know the programming languages. To make the computer understand our language, we need compilers, because we write our code in C++, Java or Python, and this is not directly understood by the computer. So we need compilers to convert these languages into the binary languages. So this is the basic about programming, right? So guys, you might see a lot of applications around you, websites around you, softwares around you. A lot of technology advancement that you have seen around you is the result of programming, guys. So on one click, you can order something. On one click, you can give commands to your Alexa or Google Voice, right? Do something, do this thing, right? So all the automation that you are looking at around you is the result of programming. So see, in the current world, programming is very, very essential. So because we are moving towards automation, guys, we are moving towards online things, right? So there the programming becomes the most important aspect to basically advance further, right? At the same time, programming opens a lot of opportunities for you guys also. So if you want to pursue your career in programming, in software development, in basically hardware also, you can. Programming is essential for the hardware engineers as well, right? So programming is useful for the electronics engineers as well. It's not only about computer science, guys, right? Programming is used everywhere. In environment also, programming is used. So in environment, people might be using machine learning to depict the basically temperature of a particular place for the next 5 to 6 hours, right? So programming is everywhere around you. It is not only restricted to the computer science field. It is everywhere around you. It's basically growing and growing. So now the thing is how you can pursue your career in the programming. So basically what happens, guys, before all these machine learning things, you need to know the first programming language. As I told, you have to write the code. You have to give commands to the computer. So you must need to know the programming language first. Now it depends. So what do you want to do in programming? See, I told you in programming, you can develop a software. You can predict about some future, right? You can analyze some data using your program. Okay, so there are a lot of fields inside the programming as well. It's up to you to decide which field you want to pursue in, guys. And one more thing, one very important thing. So there is a lot of money in the programming, you all know. But if your interest is there in programming, then only you should go in programming, guys. See, if you're doing programming continuously for the 4 to 5 years, then it should not happen like this. You are burnout at the end of the 5 years. If you have real interest in programming, if you want to solve real world problems using your code, using your programs, then only go in this field. Otherwise, you will work for 4 to 5 years, and at the end of 4 to 5 years, you will find yourself in a burnout situation. So that will hamper your career as well, right? So go in this field only if you have a real interest. Try this field. You should try writing some programs, try developing some basic apps, basic websites. If that things give you satisfaction, then if that things basically help you excite more about to learn more about this field, then definitely you should try to enter into this programming field, guys. It's a very amazing, interesting, challenging also, right? So you have to keep learning new things that come into the market while in this programming field. Okay, so this is basically about programming and why we should do programming. And I told you, so before starting into the programming field, you have to learn first programming languages, that is C++, right? I told you also, like, your interest must be there in the programming field if you want to pursue your career in the programming, right? And now coming to the college students. So basically, we can think of programming while we are in the college. We can also start solving problems using programs while in our school days. But most of the students start their programming journey in the college, right? So what happens in college? In most of the colleges, the jobs for the software developers are more than the data scientists or the machine learning jobs, guys. So most of the students basically enter into the software development jobs. But these are not only the jobs, guys. So initially, it might like look to us, we should definitely go in software development. But if your real interest is in machine learning, predicting something, analyzing something, then you should try to pursue those careers. It's not only about software development, as I told you. So there is one more thing unique about programming. Suppose you have two ways to solve a problem using your program. You have two ways to write your program, right? So which one is the best? How you will decide? It's not only about your programming skills. So programming is insufficient with your basically optimal skills. So if you're solving a problem, you are writing only code. Okay. So you are not looking at its time complexity, its space complexity, how complex this solution is, how it's going to affect user experience, customer experience. If you don't have those skills, right? So then programming is insufficient, guys. Suppose you have built a software that is no one going to use, because it has a lot of latency, right? It takes a lot of time to fetch some data. Who is going to use that software? People might develop a better software than you, having the less latency. So only programming skills are not important. Along with programming skills, you need some logical mind also. You need to think also, like, how this feature, what I am implementing, is going to help the customer. How fast I can make it to the customer. Basically, see, in this world, latency is very important. You might have heard, like, if latency of Amazon or some other companies increase, then the user base immediately falls down. So latency is also very important concept in this programming field. So that's what I'm saying, that only coding is not important. You need to think what is the best solution. You need to come up with the minimum time complexity solution. There are problems also to which the optimal solution doesn't exist. That are the basically NP hard problems. Okay, that are different problems. But you have to think a lot while solving a problem. You are given two numbers. You have to sum it. So you can directly sum it also. Okay, you can directly multiply also using the multiplication operation. But it might be sometimes useful to add it. Suppose you have to multiply 18 3 times. Okay, so what you can do? 18 into 3, this is one thing you can do. Another thing is that you can do is 18 plus 18 plus 18, right? So there is a difference in the operations that we are doing in these two things, guys. So to this level programming can go, that I want to tell you. So it is very, very important to understand the depth of programming also, guys. Okay, so it's not only, so we people in college only look at the high level of programming, but it is actually very deep. When you will get into the industry, you will see how deep it is, right? So don't just look at the high level and just jump into the industry. Try to explore your real interest in this field. If you are really interested, then only explore your career in this programming field. Otherwise, I told you, you will feel burnout at the end of 4 to 5 years, right? So you might be 22 years now, and then 27 to 28 years, you might be feeling burnout, right? You must have real interest in the programming field. So now, guys, I'm going to give you a very quick roadmap for the college students to pursue your career in the programming field. So a very quick path will be: first, learn the programming language. That might be C++, Java, or Python. Then, if you're looking to develop your career in software development jobs, they mostly ask you, for the freshers level, they mostly ask you data structures and algorithms, right? Problem solving questions. So there you need to use your aptitude skills, logical skills, and you need to use some data structures and algorithms. So after learning the programming language, learn data structures and algorithms, right? You can explore Coding Ninjas courses as well on our website. You can find the link in the description. And you can basically look at our YouTube channel also. There you can find various free videos. Okay, so learn data structures and algorithms. After learning data structures and algorithms, you can practice a lot of interview problems on Code Studio platform or any other platform, right? So there you will be looking at how the companies ask these problems, right? How companies ask problems based on data structures and algorithms. After doing the data structures and algorithms and practicing a lot of interview problems, right? So you can try to jump into some field. What I mean is that either you can try to develop some websites, you can try to develop some Android apps, iOS apps, okay? Or you can try to jump into the machine learning, or I should say deep learning or AI field, right? If that suits you. So this way you can basically make a base for your career in the programming field, guys. And I hope this video is going to help you a lot. This video is going to give you insights into the programming field, what is programming, why programming is very important in this world, and how we can basically pursue our career in programming if we are a college student, right? So thank you so much, guys, for joining in this video, and I hope this video is definitely going to help you. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you have any doubt, if you have any unique thing about programming, let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely appreciate and reply to your doubts or any suggestion that you would give me. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Hope to meet you in some other session. Thank you, guys.